Hey guys, welcome to the prop shop, where today I'm going to show you how you can make your very own Venom mask with half the face exposed. Now, I saw the new movies coming out real soon, so I had to make this, and I'm going to show you how to. So let's dive right into it right now. Drop a subscribe and like so you can see all of my future builds. Let's get to it. First things first, we're going to use the foam head pattern we got from punishprops.com and make a foam head, but that's for another video. But it looked pretty cool. Go ahead and check it out. Now, we covered it in tin foil and duct tape and got some patterns from it, as you can see. After that, went ahead and transferred all our patterns to some cardstock so we can make it a little bit more easy to transfer it from paper or tin foil to duct tape to foam, whatever order that is. But we're going to go ahead and start tracing out our patterns from 10mm EVA craft foam from our patterns. Now, make sure we actually transfer all the registration marks and the actual pattern lines onto the EVA foam. If you don't do that, nothing's going to line up right, and it's not going to make a lot of sense. You can even go ahead and mark it off with some letters at certain points where it actually makes sense. So we're going to do that one time, another time, and kind of line everything up so hopefully it doesn't overlap again. We really don't want that to happen. Making sure our registration marks are going to make sense. After all those done, we can do it again. And again. And now we can cut everything out. Smaller sections makes it easier to work with. There we go. Another small section right here. And there we go. Cutting around all the wavy bits. Let's tear this off. Should probably do another pass right here, but we're going to go ahead and separate some more pieces so it makes it a little bit easier to work with. Alright, now that we have everything all cut out, we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is gluing. Now, contact cement is an adhesive that you apply to two sides of whatever you want to stick together, and then after it dries, you can go ahead and stick them together. Now, I did actually put a whole bunch of letters on here, on, well, actually most of the pieces, so hopefully I can find out where most of these pieces connect and don't connect. Kind of helps me with the registration marks, look at everything and make it into some sort of a semblance of a head or a Venom mask, whatever you want to, call it at this point. Now that I have everything all glued together, or actually glued, I can go ahead and start attaching a lot of my pieces. Again, like I said, the registration marks are really important when make sure these things line up pretty much almost exactly, so we can go ahead and actually make the head. This part is going to be pretty important to actually connect to each other. As you can see, I'm kind of lining up all the points right there. So we have half a head. See how easy it was to make that and then just line everything up all together? Now we have to do that many, many more times. I'm going to go ahead and start with the neck right here. You can kind of start with it any way, shape, or form you actually feel like, but this I felt was easiest, which ended up not being the easiest. Trust me, don't start with the neck. Just kind of do your thing. I promise, it'll work out. Alright, so we have half of our head completed right now. Everything's all glued together. These over here, like I said before, will make it a little bit more of an organic shape. A little bit of a tongue twister right there, but it's going to look really good. So the next step we have to do to make this a little bit more wearable, portable to take on and off, we're going to go ahead and cut a slit right here, approximately 9 inches, and then go ahead and install our zipper. Now, they probably didn't use this for the real Venom costume, but I picked this up at Walmart and it's going to work pretty well. We're just going to use some contact cement, stick it on in there because contact cement actually worked good on that zipper. And after that, we're going to go ahead and start to clean up all the seams and edges. If you look carefully right here, it doesn't line up perfectly. So we're going to use a little bit of the orbital sander and kind of knock that down a little bit. Same thing with a lot of the other high points. So it can look like one nice big smooth thing. And then after that, starting to make the teeth. So let's do this first and then we can move on to the next step. Now, the 9 inches I actually got from the box that the zipper came in. It's a 9-inch invisible seam. So we're gonna go ahead and mark each part where the zipper actually goes to. I think I glued a little bit too close to the side, so that's kind of my fault, but we're gonna go with it. So let's go ahead and make a line here so we know where to actually go up to. After that, we can go ahead and make our little incision right here. It might take a few passes to actually get to the contact cement, or if you were smart enough, you didn't actually glue these pieces together. But I don't think you did that because you didn't look too far in the video. So here we go. It's cut in half. It's not a big deal. We went ahead and separated everything. Now, the most important part is to actually glue the zipper inside. We're going to apply the contact cement inside the mask because it was a little bit more difficult to actually do since the geometry of the mask. We went ahead and used a piece of blue tape to tape down the zipper. Go ahead and glue it to the actual piece of paper, but it's really going to go to the mask. We just don't want to overlap any glue on the zipper. It'll make it more impossible to open. So, go ahead and install it into the back. Right here, we got it on one side, and then after that, we can kind of stick it to the other side. Again, this is after the 5 minutes that everything has had a chance to dry. Probably longer, because we're going to be putting a lot of stress on this part. And we can go ahead and start sanding everything. Like I said, with my orbital sander, we can go ahead and knock down most of the high points on this mask. Alright, so with everything all glued together, our seams are near invisible. I can knock, if I see anything kind of pop out at me, I can go ahead and knock it down with some really high grit sandpaper. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start making some of the teeth right here. Now, I did go ahead and draw the mouth on here, which I am going to go ahead and cut out and use that as a guide. Now, I don't want to make the teeth too big, because then it doesn't have anything that just overlaps out of the mouth or anything like that while he has his mouth closed or anything, kind of all fits in there. But, you know, that's what I'm going to use this as a guide for after I cut it out. After that, we're going to go ahead and this side of the face, I don't want this to be just a flat piece right here. So I am going to make a couple teeth along with the gums, because it kind of looks like you kind of have to have teeth with gums or something. I don't know. It's going to look really good. But I'm going to have a couple sporadic teeth spread throughout, so it looks like the face is actually opening up. And maybe a couple pieces, so it looks a little bit more symbiote-like, just like the top right here that we went ahead and cut out, kind of at a little splatter-looking pattern thing. I'm going to go ahead, heat them up, curve them, but first, let me show you how to go ahead and make the teeth. So let's dive right into that first before we go to anything else. So I went ahead and cut out the mouth so I could actually have a template to work off of with the gums and the teeth. So here we go. I actually traced the mouth onto some 6mm EVA foam. Went ahead and cut out the gums first. We're going to go ahead with that. And then I went ahead and traced it onto some, after I removed the gums, traced it onto some more 6mm EVA foam so I can get the teeth. We'll show you how to do that in just a second. So, teeth. What we have here is a tooth. Cut it right out of this part right here. All this is going to be cut out, and you know, we're going to use all this. But so what we're going to do after we cut everything out is there's a little piece right there. That's the part that's going to get glued to the gums. It's going to sit a little bit kind of like that. So there we go. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and instead of just making this two straight lines, we don't want it to do that. It's really not going to look too, I guess, organic. So I have a plan with a heat gun. So we're going to go ahead and heat up the tip just a little bit. You don't need too much. After that, just squish it like that. And we can bend it because heat will form the foam. And now it looks a little bit more like a tooth than anything else. You can twist it. We are going to paint these later, but I need to do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a lot of work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and going to go ahead and glue it right into the mouth. But here's what it's going to look like when it's all done is the gums are going to be right here. They're going to, but they're going to glue right in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the teeth right behind it. They're going to be a little overlapped and everything, but they're going to fit perfectly in the mouth because we went ahead and did this, made a guide, and now we can cut them out. So let me go ahead and do that. I have a lot of work to do, so we're going to jump right to the next segment, which is a few coats of Plasti-Dip. This is our eye. This is a piece of plastic that we're going to be cutting our eye from. This is some safety goggles, which you need because you don't want to be the guy who can't see because you didn't wear these things. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. But this right here is a cutting wheel. Now with the Dremel, you can attach many pieces to it, and we're going to go ahead and cut out the shape of the eye and then cover it with some white mesh. So you can still see out of it, but it'll also, they can't see in. That could be just like big gaping hole there. So with that being said, I actually went halfway through and cut some of it out so far, but I am going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit with the Dremel because the cutting wheel leaves a little bit of some jagged edges. I'm going to make it. I am going to put hot glue all over it, and we're going to bend it so it can fit in the mask a little bit better, but I am going to clean up these edges because I don't want them to come near my face. So real quick, let's go ahead and cut the rest of this out. The cutting wheel is great for a lot of plastic materials like this, but just not foam. So we have our eyepiece cut out. It's covered by some film, so we're going to go ahead and take that off when we're ready to install the eye. But first thing is, now you can't go ahead and put a solid piece in here. By the way, this is looking pretty dry. I need to throw 1 or 2 more coats on it, but you know, we'll get there. But we don't want to put this eye in there, this piece of plexiglass, and see if I put it in there, you can see a gap right there, and it's not going to look good. So we're going to have to bend it a little bit. How we're going to do that is with some heat, and a lot of heat. Put this thing down on a piece of wood, hard surface, so you're not going to warp anything or destroy anything. So we can go ahead and warp this a little bit. First thing we need to do though is take off the plastic, which I kind of melted to it while I was cutting everything. So it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to get back to you on that in just a moment. After it's all cut out, we can go ahead and heat it up. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of heat. We're going to go ahead and use whatever you got actually. I used a piece of duct tape, rolled duct tape to try to form the eye, and then I used my fingers, which kind of burnt a little bit. But then again, we can go ahead and actually start to use the hot glue gun to glue down 2 layers. I did use the 2 layers because it was a little bit easier to see through, and you couldn't see through it. So it was kind of give and take. And we can go ahead and install it into the eye piece right here, the eye socket. And after that, we're going to go ahead and brush the teeth with a little bit of white. There we go. Brushing the teeth right here. And also here, we're going to do a little bit of red on the teeth. The gums are also going to be red. So let's go ahead and brush a little bit on there. After that, we're going to dry brush a little bit of the Planet FX Mutant, I think, Ultraviolet to kind of give it a little bit of a purplish pinkish look. We can go ahead and actually seal it. Instead of using a clear gloss, we're going to go ahead and use Mod Podge, and it's going to work out pretty well. I actually think I'm going to prefer this method to a few more of my props in the future. It doesn't leave the smell for 3 days, and it dries pretty quickly. And there you have it, guys, a full-face Venom mask. Now, a few things that I really enjoy about this build is the fact that if I actually get to move the mouth, I have to move it a little bit, or a lot of it, but it moves a little bit with me, so that's a plus. I love how I can see completely out of this one, and the eye right here, I can see just fine. I can breathe, even though this is all blacked out with some of the fabric, and everything's fantastic. I really enjoy this build, and the best part is I can take it on and off. Oh, a little bit easier. There we go. I'm gonna hang that up over there. Actually, no, let's take my friend right over here. But I can take it on and off as I please with the zipper in the back, pull it on and off, and it's really not that difficult. So that's gonna bring it to the end of the video for me, guys. You should really stay around, check out some of my amazing builds, comment if you liked it, if you have any ideas for some future builds or anything, just drop a comment below. I love to read them all, and I'll see you guys on the next build. Until the next time, guys, stay crafty, my friends.